Hi guys, it's Naomi and Ashley, and today we're going to take you through a vlog of our hike in Pippi Park as well as some locations in St. John's. So we're first going to start by showing you the parts of a compass, and then we're going to move on to the legends of symbols of two different kinds of maps.
Alright, so obviously a compass didn't always look like this. Originally, compasses were made out of a piece of lodestone, which is a naturally occurring form of iron oxide. So what people would do is they would take a piece of lodestone and they would put it on either a piece of cork or a reed, and they would actually place it in a bowl of water, and that's how they would use a compass. So today the needle is made out of steel, and they use steel because it is a material that can be magnetized for a very long period of time, and that's of course obviously very necessary when you're using a compass. Yeah.
So for legends and symbols, what they are used for is to make the map make sense, basically. So in order to read the map and locate yourself, you need to be able to recognize the symbols in the legend as well as on the main part of the map. So maps can contain symbols that represent many different things like buildings, landmarks, roads, types of land. So it's important to know those in order to read and understand.
Alright, so now we're going to talk about the parts of a compass. So the first one we're going to talk about is the housing. So the housing is actually this plastic piece that goes right around the needle. As you can see, the numbers are on it right 360 degrees right around. And when you spin the housing, they actually spin with it. And then the next part that we're going to talk about is the base plate. So the base plate is all this other plastic that you see, the flat piece. And basically, the base plate just contains a direction of travel arrow as well as the side scales, and it just keeps the compass flat. So next is the direction of travel arrow, which is right here. The direction of travel arrow indicates the direction in which you're traveling. So when you're taking a bearing, make sure that the direction of travel arrow is pointing in the direction that you want to go, because if it's not, then you're going to take a bearing that's going to send you in the totally opposite direction. After that is the side scales, which are right here. They're almost like a little ruler. So they go on all three sides. This is the main one that we are going to be using right here. And as you can see, the scale is 1 to 50,000, which is a very common scale, and it's used on most maps. Next, we have the orienteering lines, which are the lines inside of the housing here. They move with the housing. And so basically what they're used for is they are used to align the compass to lines on the map. And when you're doing that, north always has to be facing upwards on the map. After that, we have the magnetic arrow, which is this little white and red thing in the middle here. As I mentioned earlier, it's made of steel because it has to be magnetized for a long period of time. So one end is painted red, and that indicates north. And it rests on a tiny little point in the middle to allow for free movement. And just a reminder that this needle here points to magnetic north and not true north. After that, we have the bed. So that's these two little green lines right here. So the bed is used when you're finding a field bearing. So your arrow, which we like to call Fred, has to be in the bed. So for example, like this. So you can see right now that Fred is in the bed. And so that's basically what you do. We're not really going to get too much into how you take a bearing, but essentially Fred has to be in his bed. And lastly is the index line, which is this tiny little red line right in here. The index line is used to take degree readings, and it is very precise because, as you can see, it is a very small line. So basically, if you're taking a reading and for example, we spin it and this is our reading, you will look really closely and you see that this line is on 240 degrees, so that would be your reading.
Hey guys, it's Naomi and Ashley, and we are in Pippi Park right now. So we are actually currently at our first point, which is the pond. So we followed the trail on here, and we are actually going to show you the symbol and on the legend that actually tells you that we're at a pond. Here we have the pond. So as you can see, there's many trails around. And on our map, you can see that there's a lot of ponds. So the symbol that goes with ponds is this one right here. As you can see, it's circled. So a big blue circle means that it's a pond. So the pond that we're at currently is this one right here. And we are at this point right there where there's a number 11.
Okay, so if you're not sure where you are on the map or you're not sure how to orient yourselves, there's other legend features that are close to this map. So for example, a marsh, which is where we're going to be going next. So if you're really not sure, just kind of have a little look around and see if you can find anything else in the legend that can help you decide which way your map should be facing.
the ground is really wet, and Ashley's wearing my rubber boots, so that's why it's taking a little bit more time than it should. Yeah. So we just bushwhacked a little bit and we're currently lost, but we're gonna use our handy dandy compass and map to find ourselves back onto the main trail.
Okay guys, so we're now at the cut line, or the transmission line, whatever you want to call it. On the map it's a cut line, so that's what we're going to be calling it. And also while we're here, we're going to be talking about rough open land, because the cut line is on the rough open land.
So here is what the cut line looks like. So they're all telephone poles. And as you can see, it's also rough open land.
There's no trees, there's nothing blocking the way. You can walk straight up and down the cut line
for kilometers. So in our legend of symbols, we here have the cut line. So the cut line can also be known as a telephone pole line, transmission lines. And on the map, so here you see that they're like dotted lines. And here on the map, you also see that they have dotted lines. So all across here, this is all cut line. Also, down here, we have rough open land, and that's yellow. It looks like polka dots. And as you can see here, it's also yellow polka dots all throughout the cut line. Here we have the same pond that we were at earlier. So if you look on the map right here, we started at number 11 and we took trails down here and all the way up, and now we are about where number 1 is. So it's the same pond that we were at earlier, with the legend being pond.
Stay tuned for the marsh. Okay guys, so we made it to the marsh. So as you can see, the land is pretty wet and we're right next to a pond. So in most cases, marshes will be close to ponds. Not always, but that's most of the time. And there's not going to be like a whole lot of trees for the most part. It's just like low shrubs. And yeah. So just as a reference on the map, so this is what a marsh looks like right here. So it's like almost like a little brick wall. And we are right here. So we are right here in this marsh.
Ashley! I don't know what way we're supposed to go. There's so many trails. Like, there's one there, one there, one there, one there. I'm so overwhelmed. Like,
okay, well, we're gonna use our compass, like what we talked about earlier in this video, and I'm gonna show you how to take a bearing so that we can find east. Because if you're lost in Pippi Park, you have to find east. That's the easiest way to get out. So we're gonna take a bearing. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, this is the direction of travel arrow. So we're gonna set east to our direction of travel. And then we are going to turn until Fred, our little red arrow here, is in his bed. And once we get Fred in the bed, it's going to, like, the direction of travel arrow is going to point to where we need to go east to get out. Okay, so, alright, so right now I have Fred in the bed, and the direction of travel arrow is pointing at this trail. So we are going to go this way, through this trail to get out. The last thing that we were going to show you was a car wreck, and of course on our legend here it's indicated by an X. Unfortunately, the only car wreck that is directly on a trail is really far away from us, and it's starting to rain. There is one right here by number 8, if I can find number 8. There's one right here, but as you can see, it's not on a trail because that's a topography line. So we're not exactly sure where in the woods it is, and we can't find it. But we will, for reference, show you a picture of what a car wreck looks like.
And there are also many other car wrecks on our map here. So as you can see, there's one here, there's one here, there's some here, there. But those are extremely far from where we currently are, which is down here.
All right.
Hi guys, so we are now at Signal Hill, and Signal Hill is an administrative boundary line. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, and I'm also going to show you what the symbol looks like on a map. So it's quite foggy, so you can't see very much, but this is the coast of land, an administrative boundary. And here's Ashley. our administrative boundary is this yellow line. So it's a straight line, kind of looks highlighted, and it is an administrative boundary. If you want to turn the map around, we are currently right here. So as you can see, the boundary line is right there. So it's a little bit windy, sorry you couldn't hear very good. Administrative boundary line.
Hey guys, so we're in Kitty Vitty now, and we were looking for a historic site, so we found one, and we're at the Rower.
So here is our historic landmark, the Rower, with Ashley. Just gonna have a little seat here. We're gonna look at the map. Give me the map.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So right here, you have the symbol for a historic site. So that's what this is here. And if you turn the map around, we are currently right there, Kitty Vitty, with our symbol of the historic site. Right there.
What's he doing?
Alright, so now we are at the rapids in Pleasantville. So we are going to show you what that looks like in person as well as on the map. So here is the rapids in Pleasantville. And on the map, the symbol is this one right here. So it looks like just a little blue spiral. And here, we are right there. So as you can see, right along this river, there are lots and lots of rapids.
Hey guys, so we're at our last stop right now, and we are at Pippi Park Campground.
So this is Pippi Park Campground. So the symbol for a campground is a little teepee right there. And on the map, it looks like this. So that's where we are right now. So we hope you enjoyed our vlog, and as you can see, it's very easy to understand the parts of the compass as well as understanding how to use a map, because basically all you need is to understand the symbols and locate them on the map in order to get where you're going or locate yourself.
And anything that we used in this video for information is going to be linked down below, because we do not want to get hit with the plagiarism. So yeah, anything that we used during this video is linked down below, and make sure you like and subscribe.